Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Mirror of Psychology. Please subscribe this channel for more psychology related information. In today's video, I am going to talk about Bloom's taxonomy. American educational psychologist Benjamin Bloom and his colleagues conducted research studies on teachers and students of various educational institutions and proposed Bloom's taxonomy in 1956. The goal of the Bloom's taxonomy was to enhance educational quality by providing educational objectives to the teachers and to develop a common teaching language so that teachers can discuss and assess the learning of the students and maintain the teaching standards. With the help of the Bloom's taxonomy, teachers were able to develop lower level of cognitive skills to higher level of cognitive skills in their students. Bloom's taxonomy proposed three domains of learning, which are cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, and affective domain. Suppose a person wants to learn how to ride a bicycle, so first he will observe others riding a bicycle. He will try to understand the instructions given by the coach and then he will process these information in his brain thinking how to do the balancing, steering and pedaling. So all these information that is being processed in his brain related to the learning is known as cognitive domain of learning. Now after understanding everything about the cycling, when the person actually starts to ride a bicycle, then that is known as psychomotor domain of learning. Psychomotor means any movement that requires our conscious mental activity. When we learn something, we start developing certain feelings, attitudes and emotion towards it, then that is known as affective domain of learning. For example, when learning to ride the bicycle, the person start liking it so much that it becomes his passion. In this video, we are going to learn only about the cognitive domain of the Bloom's taxonomy. The cognitive domain of learning has 6 stages which are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation. These levels are in a hierarchy and in the increasing level of complexity, which means to reach at the top level, the person should know all the levels below it. For example, if a person wants to apply his learning, then he should know the knowledge and comprehension level and only then he can apply his learning to a different context. The first level is knowledge, which means recall of information from the memory. For example, if a student is asked to name the stages of water cycle, then he will respond as evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So this is his knowledge related to stages of water cycle, which is just like a rote learning without much understanding. Now, if the student is asked what does he understand by the condensation stage of the water cycle, then he will respond that the water vapor in the air, when it cools down and forms the liquid water, which in turn forms the cloud, then that is known as condensation. So this is his understanding of the water cycle, which is known as the comprehension level. By understanding the stages of water cycle, when the student collects the rainwater through the rainwater harvesting system and uses that water for the gardening and other purposes, then that is known as the application of their knowledge, which is the third level of the Bloom's taxonomy. When students analyze stages of water cycle such as evaporation, condensation and precipitation and understand their contribution towards the weather patterns such as rainfall and droughts, then that is known as the analysis of the information, which means breaking down information into its individual parts and understanding the relationship between them. The fifth level is synthesis, which means creating new ideas or solutions or a new way of thinking. For example, if the students are asked how to mitigate the bad effects of urbanization on the water cycle, then the students might come with the solutions such as planting more trees, saving water, and by educating people to save our natural ecosystem, we can minimize the bad effects of urbanization on the water cycle. Then this is known as synthesis of the information. The last stage is evaluation, which means making judgments by assessing and evaluating the information available to us. For example, by assessing the human activities such as urbanization and deforestation, we understand its impact on the water cycle and we come to a judgment that these activities are causing bad effects on our water cycle. In the year 2001, psychologists Anderson and Krathwohl revised Bloom's taxonomy. They said that the initial 4 stages of Bloom's taxonomy are in correct order. However, the upper 2 stages, that is synthesis and evaluation, are not in the correct order. They said synthesis is more difficult than evaluation, hence synthesis should be on the top and evaluation should be below it. They also changed the name of synthesis and made it as create. In the revised Bloom's taxonomy, all the nouns from the old Bloom's taxonomy were replaced as verbs The revised Bloom's taxonomy has stages such as remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. Thank you for watching the video.